my feeling, Dr. Devdas. I'm very happy that you joined IIT Madras and brought glory to this institute. To tell you honestly, I'm a little bit emotional in today evening when I'm called upon to speak on this occasion, but too as the first speaker, because it's a question of mixed feelings. He is retiring. Obviously, as I said, IIT Madras will be losing his services. But then he has contributed so much that we're all here to felicitate him for the happy occasion. So it's a sort of mixed feelings. Happy to be able to recognize his good work, but at the same time feeling a little sorry that IIT Madras will only be having his services, benefit of his services.
Thinking about what faculty do, and faculty usually have an academic path which they follow very briskly, very as fast as they can. And then they also have a spiritual path, but the spiritual path gets very confused very soon. Then it becomes a little difficult. Then you switch to the academic path and stick to it and forget about the... the remarkable thing about Devdas Menon has been that he's been able to pursue both paths with great success.
It's not just the BTech days, but our connections go back a little beyond that. Before that, I was also from Calcutta, from a rival school, Don Bosco, and Ashok Junwala is from the third rival school, St. Lawrence. Okay. Anyway, so very famous school in Calcutta. I was not born there, but I was raised there. We of course spent 4 years together in Jamuna, on the same wing, the southern side, the first floor. There was a large contingent from my batch, 1980 batch in Jamuna, both civil and, it was all branch-wise in those days, so both civil and electrical engineering, electronics, totally about 80 students I think, in Jamuna, almost half the hostel. And I think people who are, it's generally 2 undergraduate students, but anybody here who's been an undergraduate student at IIT Madras, you know, there is on a maturity scale of 1 to 5, most of us are in the 1 to 3 range. It was very clear to many of all of us that time that Devdas was in 4, 5, that part of the range. He was always very calm, very new. He seemed to know what he was doing.
I'm sure, sir, we are all very much benefited. I think bringing this type of an ethics, we don't even call it value education, but the way we think, right? These courses basically teach you how to think and how to think for a better future of yourself. And that is what I found in many of his courses.
In IIT Madras, one is GN 5001 and GN 6001, which are called the Self-Awareness and Integral Karma Yoga. I am very proud to say that I was the first TA for this course. In the end, I would just like to talk about the global interactions. So Professor Menon has worked with several people across the globe. The kind of questions people ask is all amazing. You know, they read people from Ghana, people from Africa, people from all parts of the world were reading his books. People are looking at his videos, which are on YouTube. And this reminds me that, I don't know if Professor Menon knows, I'm sure he doesn't know, so let me tell you that thing. So there is somebody in Spain. So one of our research scholar went for a conference to Spain, and he met him. He was doing his postdoc there. So he told, I'm from IIT Madras. So immediately asked, oh, are you Professor Menon's student? So I said, no, I'm not Professor Menon's student, but yeah, he has taught me reinforced concrete design. But he asked him, how do you know Professor Menon? You don't even work on concrete. So he said, I'm alive today because of Professor Menon. This guy was confused. Alive today because of Professor Menon? So he said, while I was doing my PhD, I went into a very strong depression and I was unable to come out of it. So I was probably attempting a suicide. And somehow I watched some videos of Professor Menon from India, and that saved me. I'm alive today because of Professor Menon. One of his most seminal contributions to the field of structural engineering is this book here. And I know that almost 3 generations of people, 3 decades of people have been looking at these books. And this is perhaps one book that you will find in every design office in India, wherever you go. Not only in India, but also people across the world read these books to understand the behavior of concrete. And I don't think any other book gives so much clarity about the behavior of concrete. So this is one fantastic book, and I think a huge contribution from Professor Devdas Menon and of course from Professor Gouri Krishna Pillai.
Convincing, knowledgeable teacher, a deep, committed researcher, enlightening guide, erudite scholar, highly skilled and practical professional engineer, a clear thinker, all molded in a lovable human being.
Professor CSK succeeded in bringing Dr. Menon to our department, and what he has contributed has been shown and heard by all of you.
One of the sad things that happened is when I was head of the department, Professor CSK died in an accident. And I was really shaken, and both think of his family and the department. And I was in tears. Devdas Menon came and said, "Why are you crying? He is not the body, he is the soul, and he has been taken. And for all the things that he has done, he has reached the abode of the God. So there is no reason to be unhappy." I think very profound statement. That settled me. At that time, that settled me. And subsequently found that his family went, in spite of his father, seriously not being there, his family, progressed in life very well. So I just want to say, the spirituality, watch out, Devdas is coming. Thank you.
As they were finishing their thesis and their defense. So that struck me as something that, much the same way that Arjuna hit the fish's eye, you were straight on, objective and crisp in articulating what was supposed to be delivered in your thesis.
I didn't know that this Devdas Menon is going to soar so high into the sky of spirituality. And our path met. When he finished writing Nachigetas, he sent me a copy, and I read it in a couple of days, and I said, I'm going to translate that into Malayalam. And I wrote that and published it before coming to this seminar. And it is being serialized in a Malayalam newspaper on a daily basis. For the next 3 months, it will be coming in small snippets. And it is called Nachigetas Ullunarvinde Nidanta Sanithim. The awareness presence that is ever present in every one of us.
3 things which I remember from that speech: the passion in which he spoke to the students about life, and the dedication in which each aspect of the life he discussed and then asked the students to practice, and the simplicity by which he actually exhibited how he himself actually deals with issues. And thus, can I say, the book which you gave me after that stood for me in many troubles I had in my life.
Collaborating with him was such a joy, and that calming presence, that sweet smile, the gentleness.
Stop sleepwalking in life. I happened to see the book from cover to cover. One thing that impacted me a lot, that is about some people or maybe some administrators who think that the organization is running because of them and because of them alone. He made a comparison. They are like a lizard under a roof, claiming that the entire building is standing because of them. So that impacted me a lot. Once you realize that the system is in place and we are part of the system, not the only thing, many things will fall in place.
Professor Macchi, very much appreciated Professor Menon wishes in the occasion of the 90th birthday of Professor Macchi. Okay, so now I read the message that was written by Mrs. Macchi on behalf of Professor Giorgio Macchi. Dear Devdas, we wish you to congratulate on your brilliant career that lasted so long. Your students will always remember you. We also would like to thank you for your precious friendship that we will never forget. Thank you so much, Giorgio and Marily Macchi. And you told me, Carlo, you must open the eyes because sometimes God is close to you and you don't see it. And I could not understand what you were actually meant. But you made me an example that I will never forget.
There is no second opinion about him. Actually, he is an epitome of humility. Otherwise, he would not have spent that much time with me for past 15 years, wherever I am, whether I am in Chennai or in Meerut or in Surat. He had time for me. I really thank you, sir, for that much time you had spent with me.
I remember the way that he taught, and I told myself that yes, if you have to teach like Devdas Menon. Now, of course, in all these years, I always kept wondering, I've been here 20 years, I've aged quite a bit, but he looks the same. He still behaves the same. He's as cool and calm as ever, and that's a quality that I think not many people can have.
I was actually given appointment as assistant professor on contract. I came directly with an appointment order, and I met him because he was HOL at that time. And we had a very nice time during his period as HOL. And also, I wish him a healthy, happy, and also active post 65. I'm not saying retired because we are expecting one more revision of his RCC book.
Calming, soothing way of teaching you without ruffling anybody's feathers. And I think I've learned a lot from you, Mr. Menon, and I will be looking forward to getting more and more advice from you as we navigate these difficult and more difficult, challenging times for structural engineers. We will look forward to it. Thank you so much for being and helping us to be.
Professor Najeeb was talking about online courses. And then I'm so glad that Professor Devdas Menon's courses are available online. And I was looking at some of the lectures yesterday. And I was looking at the view count. And one of the lectures on reinforced concrete design had over 350,000 views, which just shows that your influence is well beyond just IIT Madras. And
okay, shall I read it? So, a scholar of great renown, a professor so wise, a philosopher with a heart full of truth and light, a teacher of the highest order with a knowledge to impart, and wisdom to guide us with a gentle and loving heart. This is tragic.
I think we have been there for 25 years and more than 30 years. And I was his junior, but he never played that card on me. But I must say two things. When I was a student here, Devdas is senior, there is a Professor Shankaran. It's very difficult to write notes in his class. Very, very difficult. But he's the guy who has written good notes. So I went and saw his thing, and he writes in two ink pens, black and blue and red. Okay, so I know all the red things means they're important. All the blue things is, things which is easier to understand, but really good. That's how we started our friendship.
An excellent mentor, a guru, in addition to being a good teacher and a researcher. So congratulations on finishing one part of your journey. Wish you all the very best for the next challenge that you are taking on.
Today, let me please accept my pranam.
So that shows how satisfying his life has been. And let me congratulate to you, sir, for having this wonderful life, for teaching the whole generations what reinforced concrete and structural analysis is all about. And millions of students like me, we have learned from you. My best wishes to all the future endeavors. Thank you.
When you have doubt, I think I go back to Professor Devdas Menon's book or, look at his video and, observe. So it's been really great learning. You have been a true mentor and guru for us and true inspiration, how to lead a life. I wish you all healthy, happy and peaceful rest of life.
During my career, I had a great opportunity to work with 30 years of service. He is always known for his excellency in the field of civil engineering and great author. Apart from engineering, he is also a great author in a spiritual way of written number of books.
It was indeed a pleasure for me to be his guide for his master's project. Really, I didn't have to do anything. It was very easy. He found his own way, and I only have to just scrutinize and read and review the work that he produced. And he did outstanding work for a master's thesis, which resulted in 2 award-winning publications in Indian Institution of Engineers.
He's an exemplary student, very humble, very simple. Convincing, knowledgeable teacher, a deep, committed researcher, and enlightening guide. Erudite scholar, highly skilled, practical, professional engineer, a clear thinker, all molded in one lovable human being called Devdas.
IIT Madras was fortunate to have him first as a student. As a student, by topping his batch, he has definitely inspired many of his classmates and others. And as a teacher.
Wish him all the best for their life and also for his wife, whom I have met. That's come to me all right and to me well in life.
Professor Menon has earned through his career, through his work, hard work and innovative activities in his career.
It's my pleasure to say a few words about Devdas Menon, whom I have known for nearly 5 decades. When we were undergraduates at IIT Madras, Devdas, or Menon as we used to call him, never hesitated to help anyone, both in technical and non-technical areas.
To know you and the other colleagues and friends at IIT Madras has been one of the highlights and pleasures of my life. Not just from the professional point of view, but also from a personal point of view. I consider this opportunity of sending you a message as a great honor. And while expressing my sincere admiration and congratulations for your achievements as an academician and as an educator of generations of young engineers in India, I send you my warmest wishes for the years to come. Hope to see you soon.
You're one of the very few gurus who propagate the joys of our traditions and knowledge rather than enjoying them alone. Yoga through Bhagavad Gita, self-awareness, Karma Yoga are some of the gems of wisdom that you've been sharing with the society, not only IIT campus but outside. It's a great pleasure to see the vast number of people who have been benefited by your association.
After the severe earthquake which affected the Gujarat coast in the year 2000, the IS code was revised in 2002 for the IBR value as 1.5, which has resulted in heavy increasing in quantity of steel by about 40%, has hampered the project execution, which was resolved by Professor Devdas Menon by presenting the case up to Secretary level Government of India and explained the importance of crack-free design of towers in seismic zone 5 area followed as per the new code.
He has been associated with BIS for last few decades, particularly as the chairman of the Special Structures Sectional Committee CED 38, where he was appointed on 14th of December 2006 by the Civil Engineering Division Council of BIS. As the chairman of the committee, he provided guidance and leadership for formulation and revision of number of Indian standards, some of the specific ones being IS 4998, the design of reinforced concrete chimneys, which he got revised in 2015, the Code of Practice for Composite Construction in Structural Steel and Concrete, IS 11384.
Dear Professor Devdas Menon, we have been knowing each other for quite some time, and every time we met, I was impressed by your knowledge and your kindness, by your capability to combine spiritual matters with techno-scientific ones.
Dr. Devdas Menon is a rare combination of an accomplished professor, a spiritual master, and a wonderful writer. He has written 2 outstanding books in the last 6 months. The books are gems which awaken in us an awareness of the highest human goodness and the quest for it.
I've been very closely working with Devdas Menon on multiple projects. I think he has high visions, and the next journeys begin from here. Holistic revolution that he's been able to bring in the education field has been high.
First interaction with Prof Devdas Menon was for a project in Kannan, that's in Kerala. Exactly speaking, Pariyaram Medical College and Hospital. It was not for a structural design, it was for a structural checking. In fact, there were some issues where the contractors were Larsen & Toubro Limited. Professor Devdas Menon was asked to have a look at the deficiency in the structure. So that's how I got introduced to Professor Devdas Menon. But from that time onwards, it was a long journey, and we have been, I should say, very happy to be involved with Professor Devdas Menon in checking the structural design of many of the hospitals and medical colleges, what we have done. So he was very inspiring, and he is very cooperative. He is very good in giving us what is right to be done. And we had a good personal rapport also. He used to share his personal information also. I used to tell my family about my family. So we had a very good association.
To attend Professor Menon's course, Integral Karma Yoga. And ever since I did that course, I felt that it was 20 years too late. And it was probably the best course I've done at IIT. Complemented a lot of the technical skills which I had learned at IIT and even at other places.
Whenever he says, every moment is a miracle, I wonder about the miracle that crossed my life with his. With lots and lots of gratitude and many more years to be with him, we bid farewell to his role at IIT Madras.
He had a wide range of interests, took part in all the extracurricular activities, was a keen sportsman, and I remember that he was the founding editor of a pioneering campus magazine called Focus.
Professionally, the work we did on affordable housing, the work you did with IIT Madras and many institutes and many companies, including Saint-Gobain, and I'm hoping that it will become a huge problem solver for India and beyond. And looking forward to hear more and being part of that as time goes on.
I still treasure and think about your view of life and how you view your role as an educator, just as a good human being, and overall as a person who can make a difference in not just one dimension but multiple dimensions.
Professor Menon, jointly with Professor Prasad, contributed towards the structural design and construction of rapid wall, GFRG, not only to gain acceptance here in India, which is the largest market in the world, but your work has literally allowed rapid wall to have impacted affordable housing across the globe. For example, the research done here at IIT Madras regarding suitability of rapid wall in areas impacted by seismic activity have allowed affordable housing to also be safe and secure. Professor Menon, the memories we made will always be remembered and cherished. I thank you very much for everything you have done, and I wish you every success in your well-earned retirement. And I hope that we still will meet sometime in the near future. Thank you.
Your legacy, however, continues through your family and of course your works, books and academic pursuit. It is the promise of rapid building systems that your legacy, which is so truly valued, will continue and be honoured in the years to come. From our team in Australia and all over the world, congratulations, Professor Menon. We wish you much success in this new chapter of your life and pray that it is a rewarding time of life.
2 onwards, in which I have been so benefited and grateful for the opportunity provided for God to interact and associate with eminent professor like Devdas Menon.
So even as a student, when we were programmed into believing what success in life is, what is happiness, and what is truly making it in life, etc., I think your words of wisdom have always served as guiding lights of this, wisdom.
It is the cult in IIT that professors will have a nickname, and his was phenomenon in our household. There's a saying that when the pupil is ready, the master arrives. And on 26th December 2016, Padmavati, yours truly, was ready, and Devdas Menon arrived in the form of an email. Would you like to come and explore the state of being? And then I graduated to becoming his TA for the 2 courses on self-awareness and integral karma yoga. Notwithstanding that, in this reality, in this utility realm, the sentimental heart does feel like saying, Professor is given to his finesse and perfection and aesthetics and everything. So to add a note of aesthetics, the sentimental heart does feel like singing, Abhi na jao chhod kar कि दिल अभी भरा नहीं. To which the professor in his unfailing manner will smile and reply, खत्म हो किसी जगह ये ऐसा सिलसिला नहीं. So the mind knows the answer. So in that, I offer my very deep debt of gratitude to that cosmic guru, that dispeller of darkness, who needs to access people like us in some physical forms like Professor Devdas Menon.
We had the opportunity to work with Sir last 21 years. Thank you so much for wonderful memories. We will miss you a lot.
Working with DM Sir past 21 years. Thank you so much, Sir.
He taught me true happiness lies inside.
Taking part in this workshop and course, it altogether changed my life as well as career. At the end of the course, I remember I came to you again saying I am done with my administration roles now, and I am seriously interested to pursue self-awareness. I don't know how, but I would like to.
A great honor to me. I believe he played a major role in shaping my career. May the Almighty shower the blessings on Professor Devdas Menon and Roshni Madam to lead a life as they wish in future.
Professor Devdas Menon sir is systematic and punctual. He explains the concepts of structural engineering very clearly. I am very much thankful to Professor Devdas Menon sir for supervising my PhD work at IIT Madras. Apart from attending his lectures on structural engineering and studying his textbooks, I have also attended his lectures on spirituality and God benefited. I wish him a long and happy retired life.
In the early days of my life, whenever I achieved some kind of success, I always felt that it has happened by mistake and that I did not deserve it. The way he presents something, the way he writes something, the way he expresses something is truly outstanding.
If any student did mistake, he is always forgive his students. So IIT is losing one best teacher.
Apart from his guidance for my PhD work, my interactions with him and his book on Stop Sleepwalking Through Life has helped me attain philosophical realization.
His in-depth knowledge in various fields like Upanishad, Veda, Gita, and his passion to inculcate a culture among students and youngsters and those who listen to his spiritual words to lead a stress-free life is really commendable.
and I still remember his talk in the Research Scholars Forum about the self-awareness and how the self-awareness is can help you to analyze yourself.
He has been a pragmatic philosopher as well, and he has been a pragmatic professor as well. What I mean to say is, he practiced what he preached.
My hearty congratulations to Professor Devdas Menon for his immense contributions to the field of structural engineering and for positively influencing the career pathways of many students like me. Apologies for not being able to join you all here today. I am very grateful for Professor Menon's kind guidance and advice, and really appreciate the supervision received from Professor Menon and Professor Hariprasad.
Professor Devdas Menon sir was my guide for both MS and PhD research work. In fact, I am the first scholar who had done both MS and PhD with the professor. I was so lucky to be his student because he is not only a great teacher, he is an amazing mentor in my personal life also. Even now, if I face any sort of challenges in life, I take his guidance and he is easily approachable.
Everyone knows Professor Devdas Menon, DM, with his immense knowledge through his books, video lectures, etc. in civil engineering. I was his student for a period of time and want to highlight the way of mentorship through an incident. I have been recently got reminded by that incident. One day, Professor came to our scholar room without disturbing us. He pasted a quote from Swami Vivekananda about the work. Take up one idea, make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. His mentorship also was like this, silently. Thank you.
Where I attended his inspiring lectures on structural analysis. He used to share stories and real-life experiences during his classes. I was also fortunate to attend his self-awareness course, which gave me insights on what I want to be as a person. Later on, I went on to do PhD under him. He spent a lot of time in discussions and corrections. I used to initially think of these corrections as a painful process, but I later realized my thinking, writing, and presentation skills improved drastically. He involved us in almost everything across teaching, research, and consultancy, and gave me a variety of experiences. Sir always inspired us to do good work without seeking rewards.
One of the qualities I always inspired in him was he always had a space for others, be it students or other people working with him. He had always consideration for their feelings other than being very affectionate.
It was a great learning experience that shaped my career and made me a better version of myself. It was always a pleasure to hear from you on any topic from technology to spirituality. Thank you once again for everything you do for your students and for the society in general.
I remember myself coming towards you for many such occasions. I've always made sure that we not only become good engineers, but also better human beings. Thanks for being our guru, mentor and guide.
Professor Devdas Menon is one of the greatest teachers in India. Unique courses at IIT Madras such as self-awareness and integral karma yoga. He has helped his students to excel in their lives and live their life meaningfully.
Dr. Devdas Menon sir is a person of abundant knowledge, simply Saraswati Putra with good understanding abilities, and also he is a very kind person, and not only in academics, his motivational speeches are also very inspiring. I still remember and follow his words.
Namaste everyone. A guru removes ignorance and shows the light of knowledge. I am Maithili Govind, and I consider myself extremely lucky that I could do my MS under the guidance of Professor Devdas Menon at Structural Engineering Department of IIT Madras during 2003-2005. More than all, I am happy to share that Professor's spiritual works inspire me to find my own inner strength. Thank you very much, sir, for being a true guru and a role model.
Dear Professor, I was privileged to learn Priestess Congress from you. Your clarity of thoughts and the way you express them are unbelievable. There is no one like you who could do that.
So many other things, like whenever we go for retreat and other thing, or we'll go for our structures picnic, he is a very good camera person also. We'll not see many of the picture where exactly he's there, because he's clicking the photos. So he's also a good photographer, and there are so many things to learn from him.
And that day it was early morning, and it was raining, so you were waiting for the students. You saw the portfolio of eminent engineers there. Then you were looking at Euler's photo, and you turned and looked at Thomas Young's photo. Then you put a question to us. When Euler was dying at that time, Thomas Young was I think 13 years old. Then how can Euler can use Young's modulus in Euler-Bernoulli beam bending equation? That's the question you asked us. It was like in a minute, how can you correlate all these things? We got stunned. Anyway, of course, later I found the answer, but it gave us the way how to think.
Thank you for your analysis lectures. Thank you for asking us to think. Thank you for inspiring us to, go behind a purposeful life. Professor, I wish you a healthy, happy, and blessed retired life. Bye.
Your courses, right from structural analysis to reinforced concrete design, have made a huge impact in my life. Your textbooks are my go-to reference to revisit several of these concepts. Thank you for teaching us how to be self-aware and also showing us how we can be both scientific and spiritual.